In this video, we are going to look at the difference between crocheting in the front loop or the back loop. The loops are on the top part of the crochet. For this particular video, we are doing 5 double crochet. So that's a chain of 5 plus 2, 5 double crochet, and then we're going to chain 2. We'll turn the piece so that way we're on to the next row, yarn over, and instead of going through both loops, we are going to work specifically on the back loop. Most patterns will find you using the back loop. So when I say back loop, we're talking about the loop that is behind the loop that's right in front of you. That's how I remember front loop, back loop. If you have another way to remember it, that works too. But I find the front loop is the one directly in front of you, and the back loop is the loop behind the one directly in front of you. So we're going to do a back loop double crochet. We're going to take our hook, insert it between the 2 loops. So I'm going to bring this closer, let it focus. Between the 2 loops, pull our yarn through, and look how that pulls it right there. You're going to end up with a little bit of a ledge, but that's okay. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We're going to go ahead and do that again. So yarn over, your next stitch here, you're going to go through just the back loop. Yarn over, pull through that back loop. You'll have 3 on your hook. Remember, we're doing double crochets. Yarn over, pull through, 2, and yarn over, pull through. You can see this ledge is starting to form. Many times I will use a back loop or front loop only if I'm trying to create something that actually folds from a bottom up or anything like that. Yarn over, back loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. It's like a song, isn't it? You're going to keep going till you get to that last stitch. If it's not making sense yet, that's okay. Just keep watching the first time here. We're going to go over it a little more. Sometimes seeing it at the final will help you. So you see here we've got our front loops, which we did not use. They're creating sort of a ledge. If I rotate the piece here, we are in those back loops, but now it's rotated so they're front loops. You can see it looks just like when you do both loops, but it's not exactly, because on this side you get some detailing. Now, front loop and back loop works wonderfully when you're looking to add detailing or when you want something to be a little bit looser and more movable. If you want something to be specifically tighter, like a toy, you want to use both loops. There are other times to use a front loop or back loop only, and those times can be covered in another video. I am going to do an amigurumi series. When you're going into your next row, just like normal, chain 2, this is for double crochet, yarn over. We are going to go back into the back loop. Now that we've rotated the piece, back loop is and was the front loop when the other way. Yarn over, pull through. Continue to do this all the way through to the end. I'm going to show you something in just a second here. Yarn over, back loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. All right, so row 3, row 1, row 2, row 3. Notice that in row 1, all of our hooks, all of our loops, all of our stitches are in now what is in front of us, so that became front loop. But we crocheted in the back loop, so we did it again in row 3. Row 3 again, we get that ledge, but it's not there on the other side. So you get a very nice little swatch here. We can do one more row. Turn, yarn over, all the pull throughs. Back loops. If you're following along completely, we're staying with the back loops. Okay. Now look at the detailing that's occurring here. When you work just back loop, you get this nice ridged front detailing. Every time that you go through, each row is going to have a ribbing in the front. This tends to work really well with single crochet to create a good solid rib for sweaters. Now, I'm assuming that you understand how to do a front loop now that you've seen back loop, but just in case, we are going to do a couple of front loop rows. So chain 2, yarn over, turn the piece. For front loop, instead of going through that back loop, you're going to go through this front loop. So from the front, this is where it's going to get tricky to record it, but I'll show you here as best I can. Yep, I did a half double. Hold on. There we go. No, get back over. There you go. See? Even the pros tend to get silly. There we go. Let's do a couple more just so you can see it as it goes through. Front loop again. Front loop. Front loop. Una más, front loop. All right, let's take a look at this. We did back loop, back loop, back loop, back loop, front loop. Do you notice how we don't have that ribbing continuing exactly the same way because we did front loop here? But front loop and back loop look almost the same, only because we did a back loop on this row and a front loop on this row. But wait till we turn it over. Now we have an extra row of ribbing here. So these were our back loop, you can see the loop, back loop, but now it's flipped over so it looks like a front loop, it's not. Back loop, you can see the ribbing, and then front loop gives you the same effect as that back loop. This stitch, the front loop and back loop effect, does a wonderful job adding some detailing. I highly recommend spending some time getting used to this, playing around with this. You can have a lot of fun with the front loop and back loop looks. And that's how that's done. Happy crafting!